AJ, before you were telling us 14 feet of water in that river.
Yeah, Pavlina, I'm standing on the 68th Street Bridge where the Menomonee River is just barely passing under 68th Street. Just look at it splashing up against the very top of this bridge. Just behind that, there is debris piling up. Big branches, logs, and what I believe to be, here if we look, if we can pan to our right, here's more of it coming our way now. I believe that this is part of the playground at Hart Park, the mat, or what was the mat, I believe, of the playground service near the pavilion out in the distance, just rushing now toward us. And there you can see it, you mentioned it, Pavlina, this river was once at 14 feet. Thankfully, it's gone down just a touch. It is now at about 13.5 feet as of 6 o'clock, but that is still incredibly high. Just for context, according to the USGS data we've been tracking, at 6:30 yesterday evening, this river was at 1.5 feet. By 9:30, it was at nearly 10 feet. It crested, we believe at least, and certainly hope it crested, at about 14.5 feet overnight. Now it has receded and by about a foot or so, but you can still see just the force of this river. Very high water, a lot of concern for people up the river. That's where we were a little bit ago. Coming up in just a few minutes, we're going to show you some of the video from when we were in a subdivision near Mount Mary University overnight. For now, Pavlina, let's go back to you in the studio. And we are coming to you from the intersection of our and Menomonee River Parkway, where the rain has picked up and there is actually an active rescue operation taking place behind me. This is ill-advised. The fire department folks are getting annoyed every time someone tries to drive through the water here, as that truck just did. But you can see those two firefighters are kind of waiting. There's a boat that has gone further up the River Parkway, which is now an extension of the river, and they are getting people from houses one or two at a time. We see some people, they're out of view now, but they are waiting for a boat to come get them. So that boat is going up and down this road, which is now a river, and the firefighters are there to receive them here. It is just an incredible scene that we have found here. And with the rain picking up again, it is creating another complicating factor for those first responders. But they are out here, and they say that this is very much an active rescue operation. So we are going to be here watching that as it happens. For now, Pavlina, we're going to sign off from Wauwatosa. AJ Bypor, photojournalist Andy Sidwell. We're going to continue to document what is happening here with those rescues, and we'll bring you those images on air and online throughout this stormy Sunday, one that we will not forget anytime soon across southeast Wisconsin. Natalie and Jessup, we're at 62nd and Villard. Lincoln Creek is about 1 block that way, and that small stream became a mighty river Saturday night into Sunday morning. It sent water rushing down this block, filling people's basements, and in several cases actually so powerful that it washed away huge chunks of people's foundations, just like this one. We've seen multiple houses that look like this with huge foundational damage. We talked to one family that was clearly traumatized by what they've experienced.
It was complete chaos. There were holes breaking into the walls in the home where water was flooding in.
Kalia Carter and her family escaped the water that rapidly filled their basement. But as they begin a long recovery, she cannot sleep.
I just keep replaying that moment in my mind, like remembering looking my children in the face and saying, hey, when you hold our necks, do not let go.
Carter says she, her husband, and her uncle carried her 4 kids, all 6 and younger, to safety. They say it took about 40 minutes to walk 1 block through waist-high water.
It was unbelievable how long it took for us to get there because the water just, it's like it wouldn't quit.
This family is one of many now removing tons of ruined belongings. Next door, James Porter and 2 of his friends are helping strangers clean out their basement.
Honestly, we just showing our support the best way we can, man. It's a lot going on up here. Everybody need help, you know. Ain't nothing wrong with coming together and supporting. That's all it is.
Any assistance is appreciated. Carter's uncle, John Stanley, was living in their basement and must now start all over.
I lost my music equipment, my clothing, jewelry, you name it. I lost absolutely everything. What you're looking at on my body right now is borrowed.
Despite such an incredible setback, this family vows to carry on. There are at least some neighbors willing to help with the heavy lift ahead.
That's all we can do as a city is just stick together and try to stay strong, man. That's the best we can do.
And Kalia Carter says while every human made it out, unfortunately, one of their 2 cats did perish. In fact, a short time ago, we were here when they found that one cat in the basement of the home. However, they say there was a neighborhood cat that seems to live outside that constantly walked by their house and came for food. They hope that that cat survived, and it did. We just saw that cat walking around outside the house just now. So some good news, some tragic news on that front. It's going to be some very busy times ahead for this and many other families. They say this huge pile of belongings that are no longer any good, they're going to be getting so much more of that for the next few days. Natalie, Jessup, that's it from here on the Northwest side. Let's go back to you in the studio. On 81st Street, just south of Lincoln Avenue.
A lot of manpower, that's for sure.
There are contractors of all kinds at just about every house.
It's totaled. I lost everything.
Andy Rajenovich watches as workers carry tubs of treasured belongings out through a giant hole in his house's foundation.
All of a sudden, we started getting water in the basement. In a matter of 5 minutes, the basement wall collapsed.
Rajenovich and his wife own the Jackson Grill Supper Club.
It looks like autographs 90, like the all decades teams.
He shows an extensive collection of sports memorabilia, from bobbleheads to autographed bats, now trashed.
Jeff Cirillo, Jeremy Burnitz, Robin Yount.
Families and the crews helping them out are now in a race against time.
It's chaos. All these houses need to be cleaned up as soon as possible so they can be saved.
On Monday, we showed you terrible flood damage in homes near 62nd and Villard. That was done by a swollen Lincoln Creek, which is near 63rd. Take a look at it now. That water has receded to the point where it's, once again, a pretty small creek. That is the waterway that entirely filled people's basements 1 block over.
I have no beds, I have no clothes, I have nothing no more because of that.
Amy Stocks mostly stayed in the basement of her house on 62nd Street. Despite losing most of her belongings, she is grateful. She feared she'd lost even more since her cat, Bubbles, ran into the basement during the heavy rainstorm.
She was crying and crying, and I'm trying to get around the house.
Somehow, though, the cat got into the walls and climbed up to a hole in a linen closet above.
Right, Bubbles? Yeah, you get hair all over me. Yeah, she goes, I don't care.
Small slivers of normalcy in lives that have been turned upside down. In Milwaukee, AJ Bayatpour, CBS 58 News.